and welcome back to the English Podcast. I'm Erica.
And I'm Marco. This is the English Podcast, and we are so excited to be here with you today.
Our mission is to help you speak English naturally, fluently, and confidently in real situations. We want you to feel ready and calm in any English conversation.
And today, we have an absolutely powerful lesson for you. We are going to teach you 150 essential English phrases for talking about your goals in IELTS speaking. This is one of the most requested topics we receive from our viewers.
Yes, we get so many messages from students preparing for IELTS who say, I don't know how to talk about my future goals. I run out of things to say, or my answers sound too simple and short. Today, we fix all of that.
Whether you were talking about your career goals, personal goals, educational ambitions, or life dreams, we will give you the language to express all of it clearly, naturally, and impressively.
And even if you're not taking IELTS, this lesson is incredibly useful. Talking about goals is something you do in job interviews, at school, with friends, and in everyday conversations.
So this lesson is for IELTS test takers, English learners, and anyone who wants to speak about their future with confidence and clarity.
That sounds like a lot of people.
It really does. So, if you're ready, please like this video and subscribe to our channel. Hit the bell icon so you never miss a new lesson.
Okay, I'm fired up for this one. Let's get started. Hey Marco, how are you today?
I'm feeling really motivated today. Actually, I woke up early and I made a list of things I want to accomplish this month. So I'm in a very goal-oriented mindset right now.
Oh, that's very on brand for you, Marco. Very organized.
I know. What about you, Erica? How are you feeling?
I'm good. Honestly, a little scattered. I had a busy weekend and my brain is still catching up. What did you get up to this weekend?
Well, Saturday was interesting. I went to a workshop about starting a small business. It was 3 hours long, lots of information.
Oh, wow. Really? Are you thinking about starting a business?
Well, I've been thinking about it for about 2 years. Thinking is the key word. I haven't actually done anything yet.
Marco, you need to stop thinking and start doing.
That's exactly what the workshop speaker said. He actually said, a goal without a plan is just a wish. And that really hit me.
Oh, that's a great quote. I love that.
Yeah, it made me a little uncomfortable because I have a lot of wishes that I call goals.
That's very honest. What did you do on Sunday?
Sunday, I just relaxed, honestly. I read a book, took a long walk, very low-key. I was processing everything from Saturday.
That makes sense. Sometimes we need quiet time to reflect after learning something big. What book were you reading?
It was a book about habits and how small daily actions lead to big long-term results. Very motivating.
That sounds perfect and very connected to today's topic. Speaking of goals, plans, and future ambitions, that's exactly what we're going to teach today. How to talk about your goals in English, and specifically in IELTS speaking.
Perfect timing. And I clearly need to work on my own goals, too.
We both have something to learn today. All right, Marco, let's start at the very foundation. In IELTS speaking, the examiner might ask about your goals in all 3 parts of the test. But let's start with part 1, the interview section. What kinds of goal questions appear in part 1?
Common ones are like, what are your plans for the future? Or, do you have any goals for this year?
Exactly. And another common one is, what would you like to achieve in the next 5 years? Part 1 questions are direct and personal. You answer with your own experiences. And for part 1, how long should the answer be?
2 to 4 sentences is ideal. Not too short, not too long. But each sentence should add real information. Don't repeat yourself. So if someone asks, do you have any goals for this year? What's a good answer?
A strong answer might sound like this. Yes, I have a few goals for this year. My main goal is to improve my English proficiency and achieve a high score in the IELTS exam. I'm also hoping to get a promotion at work by the end of the year. I've been working toward both of these goals quite consistently.
That's great. It's specific, it's personal, and it mentions two goals. Notice the phrase working toward. This is essential for talking about goals. It means you are making progress and taking steps. I've been working toward my goals for several months.
What does proficiency mean? I want to make sure our viewers understand.
Proficiency means a high level of skill or ability in something. English proficiency means being highly skilled in English. In IELTS, it shows the examiner that you know academic vocabulary. So instead of saying, I want to be good at English, you say, I want to achieve English proficiency.
Exactly. One sentence sounds like a beginner. The other sounds like a confident, capable speaker. That's the difference vocabulary makes in IELTS.
Got it. What are other phrases for introducing a goal?
There are many. Let's go through them in categories. First, phrases for stating a goal directly. You can say, my goal is to, my aim is to, my objective is to, or my ambition is to. All of these introduce a goal clearly.
What's the difference between goal, aim, objective, and ambition?
Good question. Goal and aim are very similar and interchangeable in most situations. Objective is slightly more formal and specific, often used in professional or academic contexts. Ambition is the strongest word. It suggests a big dream and strong desire. My ambition is to become the CEO of a major company. Sounds more powerful than my goal is to become the CEO.
So ambition has more emotional power.
Yes, it conveys passion and determination. It's a great word in IELTS because it shows personality and vocabulary range.
What about phrases for talking about long-term versus short-term goals?
This is very important in IELTS. For short-term goals, meaning goals in the near future, you say, in the short term, I'm planning to, over the next few months, I hope to, by the end of this year, I'd like to, or in the coming weeks, I intend to.
And for long-term goals, meaning goals 5, 10, or 20 years from now, you say, in the long run, I'd like to, eventually, I hope to, my long-term goal is to, in the future, I aspire to, or someday I dream of.
Aspire to. That's a beautiful phrase.
It is. Aspire to means to have a strong desire and ambition to achieve something great. I aspire to become a doctor, or she aspires to represent her country in the Olympics. It's a formal and impressive word.
Can I use aspire in everyday conversation or just in IELTS?
Both. I aspire to live a more balanced life is perfectly natural. It shows thoughtfulness and vocabulary depth in any situation.
Okay, so I have phrases for stating goals. What about explaining why I have this goal? The reasons behind it?
The why is arguably the most important part of any goal answer in IELTS. Anyone can say, I want to be a doctor, but explaining why with detail and emotion is what separates a Band 6 answer from a Band 8 answer.
What phrases can I use to explain my reasons?
There are several categories. For personal motivation, you can say, I've always been passionate about. Ever since I was young, I've had a deep interest in. I feel strongly drawn to this field because, or this goal is important to me because it aligns with my values.
I like align with my values. What does align mean in this context?
Align with means to be in harmony with, to match or fit together. This career aligns with my values means this career fits with what I believe in and care about. It's a mature and sophisticated phrase.
What about reasons related to family or background?
Great point. You can say, I was inspired by my parents, who worked hard to provide for our family. Or, growing up in a small town taught me the importance of education. My background has shaped my goals significantly. Or, I come from a family of teachers, and I want to continue that legacy.
Continue that legacy. That's powerful. Legacy means something passed down from previous generations, a tradition, a set of values, or a profession. I want to continue the legacy of service in my family. It's an emotionally resonant word in IELTS.
What about reasons related to helping others, like if someone wants to become a nurse or a social worker?
Excellent. For goals related to service and helping others, you can say, I want to make a positive impact on people's lives, or I feel a strong sense of responsibility to give back to my community. My goal is driven by a desire to help those in need, or I believe my skills can contribute to solving important social problems.
These all sound very mature and thoughtful.
They do, and they score well in IELTS because they show you can discuss abstract concepts like social responsibility and community. These are Part 3 level ideas delivered in Part 1 or Part 2 answers.
Now, let's talk about Part 2, the long turn. What goal topics might come up?
Part 2 goal topics are very specific. The cue card might say, describe a goal you hope to achieve in the future. You should say what the goal is, how long you have had this goal, what steps you're taking to achieve it, and explain why this goal is important to you.
That's 4 points to cover. How do I organize my answer?
The same 4-part structure we discussed for hobbies works beautifully here too, but let me give you a more specific structure for goals. First, introduce the goal clearly. Second, give the background. When did you develop this goal and why? Third, describe the steps you're taking right now. Fourth, explain the impact this goal will have on your life, and possibly on others.
Can you model a full Part 2 answer for us?
Absolutely. Let's say the goal is to start my own business. I would say, the goal I'd like to talk about is my ambition to establish my own business in the field of digital marketing. I've had this goal for about 3 years, ever since I started working in the marketing industry, and realized how much I enjoyed the creative and strategic aspects of it.
Good. That covers the introduction and the background. Then the steps.
At the moment, I'm taking several practical steps toward this goal. I'm saving money to fund the initial costs. I'm taking online courses to develop my business management skills, and I'm building my professional network by attending industry events.
Building my professional network. I've heard this phrase a lot.
Yes, it's essential business vocabulary. Networking, or building your network, means developing professional relationships with people in your field who can support, advise, or collaborate with you. It's crucial for career goals. And then the impact section. I believe achieving this goal will have a profound impact on my life. It will give me financial independence, creative freedom, and the opportunity to build something meaningful that I can be proud of. More importantly, I hope to create a company that provides jobs for young graduates who are struggling to find employment.
That last sentence is so good. You're connecting your personal goal to a bigger social purpose.
Exactly. This is what examiners love. When you connect your personal ambition to a larger benefit for society, it shows depth of thinking and language sophistication. It pushes your answer to band 7 and above.
What phrases can I use to talk about impact?
Great category. This goal will have a significant impact on. Achieving this will allow me to. Once I accomplish this, I will be able to. This goal will open doors for me to. The ultimate benefit of achieving this is, and I believe this will transform my life by.
Transform my life. That's dramatic but powerful.
Erica, it's appropriate when talking about major life goals. Completing my education will transform my family's future. It shows the goal is not small or trivial.
Now, let's talk about challenges. Sometimes in IELTS, the examiner asks about obstacles or difficulties in reaching your goals, like, what challenges do you face in achieving your goals?
Yes, this is very common, especially in Part 3, and many students get nervous here because they don't want to sound negative or defeated. But acknowledging challenges actually shows maturity and realism.
What phrases can I use for talking about challenges?
You can say, one of the main challenges I face is, I sometimes struggle with. A significant obstacle for me is, the biggest difficulty I encounter is, or I find it challenging to balance.
And then, do I just stop at the challenge, or do I also say how I handle it?
Always follow a challenge with a solution or coping strategy. This shows resilience and positive thinking. You can say, however, I deal with this by, despite this challenge, I stay focused by, to overcome this, or I've learned to manage this obstacle by.
So the structure is challenge, then solution, and if possible, lesson learned.
For example,
Erica, one challenge I face is managing my time effectively between work and study. However, I've been working on this by using a daily planner and setting clear priorities. This has taught me a great deal about discipline and self-management. That's a very complete answer. Challenge, solution, lesson learned. And notice the vocabulary: managing time effectively, setting clear priorities, discipline, and self-management. All Band 7 phrases.
What about talking about progress? Like, how do I say that I'm already making progress toward my goal?
Progress phrases are important. They show the examiner that your goal is active, not just a dream. You can say, I've already made significant progress toward this goal. I'm well on my way to achieving this. I've taken the first steps toward my goal. I'm currently in the process of, so far I've managed to, or I'm slowly but surely moving in the right direction. Slowly but surely. I like that one. It's a great expression. It means you're moving at a steady pace, maybe not fast, but consistently. It shows perseverance without pretending everything is perfect. What about expressing uncertainty? Like, if I'm not completely sure I'll achieve my goal. Hedging language is important here. You can say, I hope to, I'm aiming to, with any luck I'll be able to, I'm confident that I can achieve this, although there are no guarantees, and I'm cautiously optimistic about reaching this goal. Cautiously optimistic. That's interesting. What does it mean? Cautiously optimistic means you are hopeful about a positive outcome, but you're being careful not to be overconfident because there are uncertainties. I'm cautiously optimistic about passing my IELTS exam. I've been preparing well, but it's a challenging test. So it's like saying, I think it will be okay, but I'm keeping my expectations realistic.
Exactly. It's a very mature, balanced expression. Examiners appreciate this kind of nuanced language.
Now, let's talk about Part 3 goal questions. These are more abstract and philosophical.
Right. Part 3 moves from personal to societal. The examiner might ask, why do you think it's important for young people to set goals? Or do you think society places too much pressure on people to achieve certain goals? Or how have people's goals changed in recent decades? These are big questions. They require more than personal experience.
For these, you need to think about trends, society, culture, and change. Let me give you a strong Part 3 answer for why is it important for young people to set goals.
Yes, please.
I firmly believe that goal setting is one of the most valuable skills a young person can develop. Without clear goals, it's easy to drift through life without direction or purpose. Goals provide a framework for decision-making and help young people prioritize what truly matters to them. Moreover, the process of working toward a goal, even when you don't fully achieve it, teaches essential life skills such as resilience, discipline, and problem-solving.
wow, that answer is so complete. What key phrases should I highlight?
Firmly believe one of the most valuable skills, drift through life without direction, framework for decision-making, prioritize what truly matters, and essential life skills. These are all Band 7 and above expressions.
Drift through life is a very visual phrase.
Yes, drift means to move without a fixed direction, like a boat without a motor. Drifting through life means living without goals, just going wherever circumstances take you. It's a very evocative phrase.
What about a question like, do you think society puts too much pressure on people to achieve big goals?
This is a great opinion question. Here's a model answer. That's a very thought-provoking question. I think there's a fine line between healthy ambition and unhealthy pressure. On one hand, having goals and striving for success is undeniably important for both individual and collective progress. On the other hand, the modern obsession with success, productivity, and achievement can be genuinely harmful to mental health. Many young people today feel overwhelmed by the expectation to have everything figured out at an early age. I believe society should encourage ambition, but also normalize the idea that setbacks and detours are a natural part of any journey toward a goal.
That answer presented both sides and then gave a personal conclusion. That's very impressive.
Yes, this is called a balanced argument with a conclusion structure. It's very effective. In part 3, you acknowledge different perspectives and then state your position.
What phrases show that you're presenting both sides?
On one hand, on the other hand, while it's true that, however, nevertheless, that said, in contrast, conversely, at the same time. These are discourse markers. They guide the examiner through your thinking. Discourse markers, what is that? Discourse markers are words or phrases that connect ideas and show the relationship between them. They help your speech flow logically and coherently. In IELTS, using them correctly is a sign of high fluency and coherence.
I see. They're like signposts in your answer.
Perfect metaphor. They tell the listener, I'm about to change direction, or I'm about to add more information, or I'm about to give a contrast. Very important for a high IELTS score.
Let's talk about one more category. What about talking about goals related to education? Many IELTS test takers are students.
Absolutely. Educational goals are extremely common in IELTS. Phrases include, I'm currently pursuing a degree in, I plan to further my education by, my educational goal is to obtain a master's degree in, I'd like to specialize in the field of, I'm considering doing a postgraduate qualification in, or I hope to study abroad at some point.
Postgraduate qualification. That's a formal phrase.
Very formal. It refers to any degree or qualification you pursue after completing your undergraduate degree, like a master's, a PhD, or a professional certificate. Using this phrase shows academic vocabulary.
What about career goals, like talking about the job you want in the future?
For career goals, you can say, I'm hoping to pursue a career in, my career goal is to work in the field of, I'd like to eventually move into a leadership role. I aspire to become a specialist in, I'm working toward a position as, or I see myself building a career in.
I see myself. That phrase is nice. It's like imagining your future.
Yes, I see myself is a very natural and human way to talk about future aspirations. I see myself living abroad in 5 years. I see myself running my own company someday. It creates a vivid mental picture.
What about lifestyle goals? Not just career, but how you want to live.
This is a wonderful addition to any goal answer because it shows the examiner you think about life holistically, as a whole. Phrases include, I hope to achieve a healthy work-life balance. I want to live in a way that aligns with my values. One of my personal goals is to become more financially independent. I'd like to travel and experience different cultures. Or I aim to build a stable and fulfilling life. Work-life balance is a very popular phrase these days. It is, and for good reason. Many people, especially younger generations, prioritize this when setting life goals. I work hard, but achieving a healthy work-life balance is equally important to me.
Now, one thing I want to cover for our viewers. What if your English is not strong enough to say all these things smoothly in the exam? What practical advice do you have?
This is the most important question. Here's my advice. First, pick 3 or 4 of your most personal goals and prepare a detailed answer for each one. Know the vocabulary connected to those specific goals. Second, practice saying your answers out loud every day, not reading them, saying them. Third, record yourself and listen back. You'll notice where you hesitate or make mistakes. And don't try to memorize word for word.
Correct. Memorized answers sound robotic, and examiners can tell immediately. Instead, memorize key phrases and sentence starters, and then build your answer naturally using those phrases as anchors.
Like having building blocks instead of a finished structure.
Exactly. The building blocks are the phrases we're teaching today. How you assemble them into your unique answer is up to you.
I love that analogy, building blocks of language. And one more tip. In IELTS, it's absolutely fine and actually impressive to pause briefly and say, that's a really interesting question. Let me think for a moment. Then take 2 or 3 seconds to organize your thoughts before speaking. Confident thinkers do this naturally, so pausing to think is not a weakness.
Not at all, as long as you don't pause too long or say repeatedly.
A thoughtful pause followed by a well-structured answer is a sign of intelligence and composure.
Composure. I like that word. Composure means staying calm and in control, especially in a stressful situation. She answered every question with composure and confidence. It's a beautiful word.
I need more composure in my life, honestly.
We all do, and practicing English helps with that. The more prepared you are, the calmer you'll feel.
You know, Erica, while we were talking today, we used so many powerful words and phrases. Let's go over the most important ones so our viewers can really absorb and use them.
Yes, there were so many great ones. I kept wanting to write them all down.
First phrase, aspire to. This is a verb phrase meaning to have a strong desire and ambition to achieve something great, usually something that requires significant effort and dedication. So it's stronger than want to or hope to.
Yes, much stronger. Want to is simple desire. Aspire to implies a deep, motivated, and ongoing ambition. I aspire to become a published author sounds far more impressive in IELTS than I want to become a writer, and it works with big, meaningful goals.
What do you aspire to, Erica?
I aspire to build a business that I'm truly proud of. That feels good to say.
It really does. Second word, ambition. This is a noun meaning a strong desire to achieve something, combined with the determination and drive to work toward it. It has both the dream and the action inside it.
So, ambition is a goal plus motivation.
Perfectly described. She has the ambition and talent to succeed at the highest level. The adjective form is ambitious. He is an ambitious young professional.
Can ambitious be negative, like too ambitious?
Good question. Sometimes yes. He was so ambitious that he ignored everyone around him. But in most IELTS contexts, ambitious is positive. I am an ambitious person who sets high standards for myself.
Third phrase, align with. This verb phrase means to be in agreement or harmony with something, to match or correspond with a set of values, beliefs, or priorities. My goal aligns with my personal values.
Right, perfect. This career path aligns with my long-term vision, or I chose this field because it aligns with my passion for helping others. It's a sophisticated phrase that shows you think carefully about your choices. It's like saying your goals and your values are pointing in the same direction.
Exactly. They're in alignment, like arrows pointing the same way.
Fourth word, resilience. This is a noun meaning the ability to recover quickly from difficulties, setbacks, or failures. The ability to bounce back and keep going.
This is a very important word for talking about goals, because reaching goals is never easy.
Exactly. Working toward long-term goals requires tremendous resilience. The adjective is resilient. I've become more resilient through the challenges I faced. In IELTS, using resilience in a goal answer instantly elevates your response.
What's the opposite?
You could say fragile or unable to cope with setbacks. But for IELTS, focus on the positive. Show resilience in your language.
Fifth expression, work-life balance. This is a noun phrase referring to the division of time and energy between work and personal life in a healthy, sustainable way. This comes up so much in modern conversations everywhere.
Maintaining a healthy work-life balance is one of my core life goals, or many professionals struggle to achieve a good work-life balance. It shows the examiner that you're aware of modern lifestyle challenges, and it's relevant to so many IELTS topics: goals, work, health, technology.
Yes, it's a cross-topic phrase. Very useful.
Sixth word, perseverance. This is a noun meaning continued effort and determination to do something despite difficulty or delay in achieving success. It's like not giving up, but more eloquent.
Exactly. Not giving up is simple. Perseverance captures the same idea with depth and sophistication. Achieving your goals requires patience and perseverance. The verb form is persevere. I will persevere despite the challenges.
Is it similar to resilience?
Related but different. Resilience is about recovering from a setback. Perseverance is about pushing through despite ongoing difficulty. Resilience is getting back up. Perseverance is walking forward even when it's hard.
That's a beautiful distinction, Erica.
Thank you. Seventh phrase, in the long run. This is an expression meaning over a long period of time. considering the ultimate outcome rather than the immediate situation. In the long run, hard work pays off.
Perfect example. In the long run, investing in education is always worthwhile. Or, these short-term sacrifices will benefit me in the long run. It helps you talk about the bigger picture of your goals. And the opposite would be in the short term.
In the short term, it might be difficult, but in the long run, it will absolutely be worth it. Using both shows excellent command of time expressions.
8th word, legacy. This is a noun meaning something handed down from the past, or something you leave behind for future generations. It can be a tradition, an achievement, a set of values, or a physical contribution.
I want to leave a legacy. That's a very powerful thing to say.
Incredibly powerful in IELTS. My ultimate goal is to build a legacy through my work that will benefit others long after I'm gone. It shows you think about your purpose beyond immediate success. It makes your goals sound meaningful and big.
Yes, and meaningful goals are more interesting and memorable than simple material ones.
9th word, discipline. This is a noun meaning the ability to control your behavior and actions in order to achieve something, often by following a structured routine or plan.
This is one I need more of. Achieving long-term goals requires consistency and discipline. I've been working on developing more discipline in my daily routine. The adjective is disciplined. She is a highly disciplined student who never misses a day of study.
So discipline is about doing the work even when you don't feel like it.
Precisely. That's actually one of the best definitions of discipline I've heard. Motivation gets you started. Discipline keeps you going.
Can I use that in IELTS?
Absolutely. I believe motivation gets you started, but discipline keeps you going. That's why I focus on building disciplined habits rather than relying on inspiration alone. That's a Band 8 answer right there.
10th phrase, cautiously optimistic. This is an expression meaning hopeful about a positive outcome, but remaining realistic and aware that there are uncertainties or risks involved.
You explained this one during our conversation. I really liked it. It's a wonderful phrase. I'm cautiously optimistic about achieving my 5-year plan. Or I feel cautiously optimistic about the direction my career is heading. It shows maturity and balance. It's not, I'm sure I'll succeed, which might sound overconfident. And it's not, I don't know if I'll make it, which sounds doubtful. It's the perfect middle.
Exactly. The perfect, balanced, mature middle.
11th expression, normalize. This is a verb meaning to make something seem normal or acceptable, especially something that was previously seen as unusual or negative. You use this when talking about setbacks. Normalize the idea that setbacks are natural.
Yes, we should normalize failure as part of the journey toward success. Or, society needs to normalize taking breaks and resting without guilt. In IELTS, using normalize shows you can discuss social attitudes and change.
Is there a noun form?
Normalization. The normalization of remote work has changed how people think about career goals. Very academic and impressive.
12th word, composure. This is a noun meaning a calm and controlled state of mind, especially in a difficult or stressful situation. She answered with composure. That's an elegant sentence.
Very elegant. In the context of IELTS, you might say, I want to develop the composure to handle high-pressure situations calmly, or maintaining composure during challenges is something I'm actively working on. It shows emotional intelligence and self-awareness, 2 qualities examiners love.
Absolutely. All right, let's do our vocabulary summary. Today we covered aspire to, ambition, align with, resilience, work-life balance, perseverance, in the long run, legacy, discipline, cautiously optimistic, normalize, and composure. These 12 words and phrases will transform your IELTS speaking answers from ordinary to extraordinary. They're also just beautiful words to use in life.
They really are. Okay, Erica, that was a lot of talking about goals and IELTS speaking. It was a truly comprehensive lesson, but it was so worthwhile. Let's organize everything we covered so viewers have a clear, usable framework.
I love when we do the recap. It makes everything click. First, we learned about stating your goals clearly in IELTS Part 1. Use phrases like, my goal is to, my ambition is to, I aspire to, and I'm working toward. For Part 1, give 2 to 4 sentences with specific details. Use the formula, state the goal,
Give context or time frame, and describe how you're working toward it. Keep it personal and specific in part 1.
Exactly. Then we talked about explaining your motivations, the why behind your goals. Use phrases like, I've always been passionate about. This goal aligns with my values. I was inspired by, and I want to make a positive impact. The why is what separates a good answer from a great one.
After that, we covered the IELTS Part 2 long-term structure for goals. Use the 4-part structure. Introduce the goal, explain the background, describe the steps you're taking now, and discuss the impact on your life and others. Use vocabulary like aspire to, ambition, perseverance, and legacy to elevate your answer.
And we talked about dealing with challenges in your answers. Yes, always pair a challenge with a solution and a lesson. One challenge I face is, however, I deal with this by, this has taught me. Never end on a negative. Show resilience and problem solving.
Then we covered Part 3, the abstract discussion questions. For Part 3, use discourse markers like, on one hand, on the other hand, that said, and nevertheless, to present balanced arguments. Use phrases like, I firmly believe, it could be argued that, and I'm cautiously optimistic. Connect personal goals to social themes like mental health, education, and community.
And the final piece of advice, practice out loud every single day. Pick your real goals. Build answers using these phrases as building blocks. Record yourself. Listen back. Improve. Repeat. Fluency is built through consistent, deliberate practice.
Consistent and deliberate. Those 2 words are key.
They are. And now you have 150 phrases and the complete structure to talk about your goals with confidence and sophistication. You are ready.
Now we want to hear from you. This is genuinely our favorite part of every video. We love reading your comments. They inspire us and help us understand what you need.
Our question of the day is, what is one important goal you have for this year or for the next 5 years? Tell us what the goal is and why it matters to you, and try to use at least one vocabulary word from today's lesson in your answer.
Oh, I'll go first. My goal for this year is to finally take the first real step towards starting my own business. I've been thinking about it for too long. I aspire to create something that gives me creative freedom and financial independence. And honestly, I want to build something I'm proud of, and that maybe one day creates jobs for other people too.
That was excellent, Erica. You used aspire to, and you connected your personal goal to a bigger social purpose. Very IELTS ready. For me, my goal for the next 5 years is to expand this channel and help 1 million people improve their English. I'm cautiously optimistic about this goal because we've already seen amazing growth. I believe education is one of the most powerful tools for change, and contributing to that is something I genuinely cherish.
See, we have completely different goals, but both answers are strong, specific, and personal. Both are equally valid and interesting.
Exactly. There's no right or wrong goal. There's only the ability to express your goal clearly and confidently. So, viewers, what is your goal? You can write something like, my goal is to, I want to achieve this because I am currently, steps you're taking, or if you want to be more specific with our vocabulary, try, I aspire to, goal, in the short/long term. This matters to me because it aligns with my value of, or, despite the challenges, I am persevering by, action you're taking.
Please write your answer in the comments below. We love reading your goals. It's inspiring for us and great practice for your English writing. You'll be surprised how writing out your goal in English helps you understand it better in your own mind, too. Setting goals in writing is a powerful habit.
We read every comment, and we'll be cheering for all of you. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts for watching today's lesson. You are dedicated, hardworking, and impressive learners. Seriously, the fact that you're here learning and preparing already puts you ahead. Be proud of yourself.
If today's lesson was valuable to you, please give this video a big thumbs up right now. It really helps our channel reach more people who need this content. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please click the subscribe button and the little bell icon beside it. That way, every time we post a new lesson, you'll be the first to know. You won't miss a thing. We upload regularly with practical, exam-ready English content. You are all fantastic students. Every phrase you practice today is an investment in your future. Keep using these goal phrases. Practice answering the IELTS questions we went over today. Say them out loud. Repeat them. Make them yours. Remember, your goals are worth fighting for, and so is your English. Believe in your ability to grow. Progress is always possible with consistent effort. We are rooting for every single one of you. All right, everyone, that's all for today's lesson. We hope you feel more confident, more prepared, and more inspired to talk about your goals in English and in your IELTS speaking exam. Have a wonderful day, evening, or night, wherever you are in this beautiful world. Keep dreaming, keep planning, and keep speaking English. Goodbye, everyone.